By day, our next guest dons a black robe as a judge in Wayne County Probate Court. But outside of the courtroom, Judge Terrance A can often be found behind the lens of a camera, capturing images of Detroit. Judge Keith recently self-published his first book, a photojournal titled Sunrise on the Detroit River, a love letter to Detroit. The book contains nearly 100 images that serve as a testament to Keith's love for his hometown. The photos show the Detroit River and landmarks such as the Riverwalk and Belle Isle. I'm pleased to welcome photographer, publisher, and judge Terrance A to American Black Journal. I should say welcome back. You've been on this show before. You're not new.
It's been a little while.
But it is the first time I have to call you judge.
Yeah. Well, yes.
No, that's a good thing,
yes,
right?
It is.
Right,
yes, it is.
right. Following in the footsteps of your uncle, David Keith.
In the distant shadows of yes.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about these photos. What got you into photography?
You know, I've been shooting photography for almost 25 years since I got out of college. I actually had a thing for film, and then I started doing photography because one of my dear friends was in it, and he was phenomenal. And I got it as a way of finding more about myself, slowing down and being able to observe, to calm down. From the rush and craziness of that was going around me, and it has really been one of my two passions. The other is cycling, but it's the opposite end of the extreme.
I was going to say that's a little different.
But it's something that allows me to slow down and see, observe what is around me, and both in terms of people and places and things, and that really has helped me even on the bench in a lot of ways.
Well, and what a great place to do that, Detroit. I mean, I take quite a few pictures myself. This is a wonderful place to shoot. I mean, there are so many, because you get so many different kinds of places to be able to take
one of the
pictures.
things I wanted to do here was bring a fresh lens to the view of the city. Because so much of it is focused, actually nearly all of it, is focused on the physical structures that lie within the city, both the good ones and the bad ones, the troubled ones. There's tremendous post World War II architecture. We have some of the finest architecture. People don't realize the amount of dollars that were in Detroit rivaled what was in New York and Boston and so forth.
That's why when the city was built in the downtown. And
but one of the other key pieces that people just kind of take for granted, because you see these great shots of Boston Harbor and San Diego and so forth. No one really pays attention to the Detroit River.
That river, right?
And in its relationship to Windsor and the historic significance of the river on so many levels, and what it means to so many people who have been born and raised in the city of Detroit. And I was a native West Sider. On Columbus, between Linwood and Lawton for years, and lived on the various West Side for years, and I never got to see a sunrise.
Oh, well, that's right. You wouldn't on the West Side.
And millions of Detroiters, millions of Detroiters. Those who are fortunate enough to live on the river know exactly what the grandeur is of that experience. And so when I finally moved to an apartment that overlooked the river, that gave me a panoramic view of Belle Isle on one side and the Ambassador Bridge on the other. The first morning that I got up and I saw it, I said, wow, this can't be Detroit. This can't be Detroit. And so I began, I took my camera, my Nikon camera, and I put it on the tripod and left it in the window. So at night, I would always have the opportunity for sunrise, and in the evening, I would get the sunsets. And that spawned my other interest. And so when I looked around and saw the number of books out on Detroit that were very much concentrated on one thing, I said, it doesn't capture what is really here every day, and it's so beautiful. What it feels like. And the reason it touched me so is because I genuinely love the city. I mean,
you have to, right? The people who've been here as long as
we have been here through the tough times, and we hear our parents talk about how great it was, the experiences that they had. And what I've come to realize is, just as with elderly people, seniors, the people, your mom, your dad, you think of him or her as the great statuesque figure from your youth, and here they are, 80, 90 years old, in the shadows of it. Okay?
Sure.
And this is the time when you need to be able to show them that the love that they gave you is being reciprocated. And Detroit has given its love for this nation that's never gotten its just due.
Not got it back. That's for sure, right?
And so that's what the aim of the book is to recognize. Detroit, you're an old lady, you're an old man, you're my mother, you're my father, you've given everything you've given so this nation, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, can long endure.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It's time for us to show it back. Yeah.
And showing that beauty is a really interesting way to do that, to show that.
Because when you really love someone, there's some flaws there.
Right.
But the love allows you to see, to transcend those troubling parts, and you say, there's really something there.
Yeah.
I mean, every man, every woman, can look at their spouse, their significant other, and say, there's a moment when I really don't like you, okay? But when I put it all together, you are, the very thing I need.
That's such a great description of the relationship I feel so many people have with this city, right? We know what's not working, we know what's wrong, but we stay because
we love it.
Because we love it.
Yeah, right. And so there's so many Detroiters all over the world who are looking for something to represent their love, their passion for the city that's not captured in this other. And this was my way of trying to put it all together. And the reason, the other little point is, the book is done to the theme, the love theme of Les Miserables.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
Okay. The quotes are taken from Les Miserables
Right.
to tie in Detroit's French connection.
Right. Right.
And also to recognize that the challenges in French society, as represented by Hugo, okay, can be overcome here in the same way they were overcome.
Same kind of, right. So do you have a favorite, I mean, I know that this book is in and around the river and Belle Isle and the River Walk. Do you have a favorite spot to shoot?
Well, I have shot at every park along the river.
Okay. From
Mariners Park down to Del Rey. And there are certain spots that are very special to me. Yeah. And particularly there's some spots on Belle Isle and some spots along the River Walk. But there's one spot in particular on Belle Isle that is quite meaningful to me because it's tranquil and it's over by the lighthouse. Okay. And, and the joy of being able to be there in the serenity and the quietness of the moment when nobody else is around. Okay. Just kind of warms my heart. Yeah. Okay. But there are a couple. There are a couple. And do
you have a favorite photo in the book? See, it's hard. It's like asking people about their favorite kids, right?
I have more than a few favorite photos in the book, but there's a couple. There's a couple. Yeah. That's a tough question, Steve, because I actually started off with several thousand photos. Right. Okay, and narrowing it down to come up with a storyline to make it work. But there's a couple. My wife has a couple. There is one in particular that is shot from Brushford Park that most people swear is not a photo. I had to superimpose it because in parts it looks like Miami, the other parts it has the Detroit skyline.
Is that right?
And and that was the other thing. Okay, I wanted to take shots from perspectives that most people had not seen of the city.
Right, and especially when you go south and west along the river and look back at the city, it looks really different.
It looks totally different.
It does other
totally
places.
Different. Many people who have known the city, who lived up in the city, look at the photos and swear it's not Detroit.
It's not Detroit.
Okay?
Right.
There's only one shot that is a standard perspective that's taken from Sunset Point on Belle Isle.
Okay.
But everything else is an effort to see the city in fresh eyes.
To go in that different direction.
Right. And to give you the sense of having walked along the Riverwalk at sunrise and also at sunset.
Yeah.
So it's trying to engender the romance that we all have and had, that our grandparents had about it. And it's interesting too, the book was shown to some friends out in LA who are from Detroit, and they loved the book so much they said, you know, that's a book that we would like to have just so we can give it to our grandchildren so they know of their legacy, what their legacy really looks like.
What a great story. Well, great work. We'll have to go out shooting sometime. I shoot with Canon though, so maybe you won't shoot with me.
A different logic, but it still works.
Still works. Same thing, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, good work, and we'll look forward to more books from you on that.
All right.